guys, how are you doing? Just wanted to make a video about this drug issue in Punjab because this YouTuber, I don't know why he's like saying these things, but he's trying to make it like a conspiracy. Like the drug abusers don't have agency in themselves to use or to quit. Like that's just part of the whole issue, right? Like there's a sense of victimhood due to long-term colonialism and then toxic masculinity, which encourages abusing of drugs slash alcohol. So I'm just going to share a little bit of my own experience as a person who has dated a person from that region, that conflict region online, right? Like I've never met him in real life, but like I could feel the anxiety and stress of living in that region just by talking to him. Cause it's like when Friday approaches, it's the time when certain people gather together and then some things might go wrong because everyone's just like really like worked up and they might like, target another social group. So I'd be crying and like worried about him because he's from the group that doesn't get together on Fridays. And I'd be like, what if something happens to you? Like on a Thursday, I'd be like, be careful. And then he's like, if anything happens to me, just keep doing your puja, which is like a religious service, homa in the Buddhist Hindu tradition. And I was just like, dude, you're so bravado-ish, which I like sometimes, but also like, why are you so hard on yourself? Like you can show some vulnerability, like we are in a relationship. So we were talking for some time and he just gets kind of personal. He'd be like, how do you spend your day? And this guy was exceptional because at some point he was just like losing a lot of weight. I was so shocked. Like he already had a pretty long face and then like the cheeks were getting inside him. The cheeks were literally getting inside his sockets, like where the skull becomes like a triangle, because before it was more like a rectangle and then it became and I was just like, why do you look like you don't eat properly even though you work in the food and drinks business? And he's like equivocating at first. Then he told me like, okay, actually, you know what? I drink. And that's where I blow a lot of my money. He earns like $100 per month. And he likes to drink like Magic Moments, Tuborg. I don't really know these names. I've had Royal Stag before. Like I was more of a whiskey girl a long time back in India. And now I just like basically haven't drank that much except with my guru who likes to drink like transparent stuff, like not beer. He doesn't like beer. He likes strong stuff because he's a Shiv Bhakt and I'm also a Shiv Bhakt when I'm with him. Back to this guy who I was dating, right? Like he was really smart and he knew like to this whole like border conflict and still he was like hiding his alcoholism so well. And I was just so confused. Like, why can't you get help? Why can't you be more honest? Why can't you just face your weakness and stop wasting your money? And then my attitude is very judgmental according to everybody who has been close to me. They're just like, you're so judgmental. And I'm like, I know, but it works sometimes. It helps you some, like clear judgment helps you some. Anyways. And one reason for his behavior might be that he used to work at Sri Vaishno Devi Mandir, which is located in Jammu. And he can understand that there is a problem with the infrastructure, such as like providing help to people in need, and that gives space for like religious mandirs like the Vaishno Devi shrine. And he understands there is a gap between like what the government says it's going to do and what it actually does. Yet somehow like he just can't trust himself enough to actually like address problems with the resources that he has. Like the information he gets from people who visit the shrine, his own judgment, etc. And back to this blogger, right? Like he's just like, yeah, China has a grand strategy to destabilize Punjab through ISI, which is the Pakistani intelligence branch, right? And it's like, Pakistan doesn't even have budget to heat their people during the winter. Like, do you think they can actually fund that many drugs on their state budget? Like, it just doesn't make sense in terms of the money, first of all. And like, sure, there might be like cartels in the US-Mexico scenario in the Punjab, but it's just like, where's your evidence, bro? Like you're just
pulling ideas from your head, and it does make for great entertainment, don't get me wrong. Like when I listen to him, I'm like, oh, life is interesting. So I guess that's why he has like thousands of views on YouTube. And if you guys want to know who he is, I may or may not talk about him again, so let me know in the comments.